Hey y'all, it's Natalie for Not Just for Boys Kit Club today, and I decided to let the Nostalgia Limitless kit from February dictate my photos. So I went nostalgic with it and I pulled out these old photos of Heath because I have never scrapped 2013, his first year of life, because I was just overwhelmed with mothering, right? So I have these photos of him when he turned 10 months. So I'm going to cut down the smaller ones into squares so that I can get them all to fit on like a single line across the 12 by 12 page. And I'm making sure to make that his little toes stay in the frame though, because they're just the cutest. And now his toes are gross and stinky. But I have that one photo of him that's a 4x6 and you can see his giant eyelashes and they're so pretty. Oh, I miss that age. So I have this blue polka dot paper and it's from Fancy Pants Memory Lane collection. But the other side of it is this really gorgeous wood grain and I wanted to use a strip of it. So I am going to like slice it up a little bit so that I can use both sides of it. But first I am figuring out how big I need to rip this orange piece. This is an Echo Park My Dog red orange paper from the Nostalgia Kit. And I am going to fit all 4 of the photos across that in the landscape mode and then stick it in a strip across the blue striped paper. So it'll look like the blue striped is just like one big 12 by 12 piece, but it's just going to kind of be sticking out from the top and the bottom because I need to slice it up to use the other side of it. So I just kind of messily ripped up the orange paper and now I'm slicing the blue polka dot. And you can see I have another piece of it over there on the right and I'm going to slice that down the middle and use the opposite side to peek out from either side of the orange paper. So I'm just ripping it down the middle. And then I will stick it on either side of the ripped orange piece. And I just really love this layered look. And of course, I love distressed look as well. And then I went and grabbed the Scenic Route. This is the Echo Park Fall Fever. It's called Plaid Fever. I really love the plaid on the other side, but I actually just wanted to use that yellow. I just needed a super thin strip of it. And I think it has like white crosses on it, like little delicate crosses. So I just wanted that little pop of color in there as well. There's a few yellows kind of in the background on the yard of his photo. I have other photos from this little photo shoot session to scrap too that have the dogs in them, but they kind of warranted their own page because they're kind of funny. Like the dogs are like hating their life for a second because a 10-month-old was sitting there next to them. But one of them is no longer with us. His name was Pickles, but we still have my old girl Lola. Heath, my son right there, is 10 now, and my old girl Lola is 14 and still going strong. So it's really sweet that they've grown up together always. So you can kind of see what I'm thinking here with the strips of paper. And I used the grid on my glass mat to kind of ensure that I keep it at 12 by 12. But before I stick them all down, I'm going to use this mousse. It's called Delicate Blue Nouveau Chalk Mousse. And it's from the Essentials kit that accompanies the Nostalgia kit that you can buy separately. And it's just a fun kit that's full of additional embellishments. There's additional alphas, which I've used the heck out of, and some mixed media goodies, as well as just some additional ephemera and things. The Essentials kit is different every month, so it's a fun way to try out new products. I had never tried chalk mousse before. You can see I have like that plastic wrap right there. Make sure to put that over your chalk mousse before you put your top back on, just to ensure that it doesn't dry out. And I kind of accidentally forgot to film this part, but I just was splattering some potted watercolor over the chalk mousse, and then I'm also going to go in now and splatter with some white Heidi Swap Color Shine. And I didn't use any gesso on this page because I'm only doing a little bit of splatter, and so it's not too much liquid, so you don't really need the gesso. You only need gesso when you're doing like a lot of liquid, maybe like a lot of watercolors, or if you're using Distress Oxide and adding a lot of water. Those are the times when you need to use gesso. In a situation such as this, it's not necessary, and it didn't make my paper like warp or anything like. Plus, all of that heavy cardstock being stuck down together helps as well to kind of keep it from warping. But now I'm just using the grid, like I said, on my glass mat to help me measure and keep the page 12 by 12 since I spliced it apart or spliced it up. Yeah, and so I am just sticking the distressed strip of paper down on either side of the Fancy Pants blue dot paper. And I just kind of kept it more towards the top of the page. I am going to go outside of that strip with some of my ephemera to kind of create a really nice upside down visual triangle. So I'm just kind of figuring out how I want to arrange the photos. There's a little bit of like trapped negative space. How am I going to work with that? And that's when I start going through the die cut ephemera. So in the Nostalgia Kit, you get the Simply the Best ephemera by Paintcrest Studio, as well as the Serenity ephemera by 49th and Market, which is a very nice calming blue theme to it. So I went through Simply the Best and pulled out some things that I wanted. And then I went through the Serenity. I pulled out that little film slide thing, and I'm going to use that to hold my journaling. I think about using this butterfly. I put it there. I ended up taking that off, but it's like a little envelope almost, but it wasn't quite right. You'll see in a moment, but I'm going to trim down that white paper and make it stick directly into that so I can kind of fit that into my figuring when I'm deciding where to put the photos and everything. I could have typed it, but I actually just like handwrite it. But I had to go off screen and do that because I was going to use the caption that I put on my Instagram post for when he turned 10 months. So like his first year, or maybe his first 2 years actually. I think I posted on Instagram every time he turned a new month old and just kind of said like the few things that he was into. And so I'm really glad that I did that so I could go back and use that for my journaling on things like this. So that's more like what I've decided to do with the photos. And I have some of the ephemera bits there. I like that little like rainbow books. And I pulled out the foliage, which is super beautiful. And I want to balance that and kind of stick one at the top and one at the bottom. There is a label from the Serenity Kit, and I'm going to use the Doodlebug alphas, and those are from the Limitless Kit. They're an additional set of brown alphas that you get, and I love them. They're puffies, and they're the perfect size. And they have tons of words in them, or letters, so you can make so many titles. I've used them a lot so far, even on pages that I haven't filmed. But the title is going to be He's a 10, because he was 10 months in these photos. So I'm popping up that one photo on some foam dots because I did want to have some dimensional elements on the page. And then I kind of am layering it on top of these other photos and the negative space on that larger photo. And then I'll use the pop dots on some of the ephemera as well, just to kind of bring cohesion to the page. Since I used it on the photo, I'll use it on a few other things around the page to kind of make sure it all kind of flows together. So I'm going to put the journaling spot there, the title to the left of that with a little, maybe like a pre-title or something. I liked that little ticket because it said 10 on it since he's 10 months. And I like to combine this ephemera, this maybe a little darker, a little dingier, a little more, what's the word? Not rustic, but distressed. That's the word. And I like to combine that with the bright, fresh, white pop of colors from Paintcrest Studio. I love that juxtaposition. I do use my little distress tool to kind of rough up all the edges of the ephemera, though, just to keep it in the same distressed vein as the rest of the page. And that adds additional cohesion, I feel like, to the page. So I'm even roughing up like the foliage and stuff like that. I do pop up that little medallion there, and I'm just adding a couple of dots underneath it to help it, not collapse on the page. And I popped up that title as well. This is like, I think this might be my favorite page that I made so far with the Nostalgia Kit. And I've made at least 3 layouts that I filmed, but I might have done another one too, and I still have so much of this kit left. I love these kits so much. They really do go so far. I'm going to link down below if you want to go grab your own. They do still have some Nostalgia Kits and the Essentials Kit, but in a couple of days, they will announce the new kits for February, and they're fabulous as per usual. They're so good. Paula and Meredy are great at putting together the kits for real. So I really love the way that foliage leaf sticks out from the bottom. So I'm going to stick out that one at the top above the photo, and that gives really nice balance on the page. And then there was also a little tiny foliage bit that was in the Simply the Best kit, ephemera kit. So I'm going to use both of those together. I love, again, mixing and matching those manufacturers and combining them. So I'm trying to use that blue butterfly up at the top, and it doesn't quite fit in that spot. So I do change my mind here in a moment, and you'll see what happens. But it was cute, and I wanted to use it. And this is my only complaint with things like that, is that 49th and Market does it, but a lot of companies do it. They put the same butterfly in there 5 times, but they're all the same size. And I need different size butterflies. I like to use 3 different sizes, or an odd number of sizes at least. So I also wanted to use this little bit, and it's like this funny chartreuse, I think is the right name. I don't know if that's the right color. It's like a dingy green color, and it says "Stay Curious." And so this is where I decide I want to add in some more butterflies. So I grab 2 wood veneer butterflies that are different sizes, so they will go with that one butterfly that I used. And then I color them that same chartreuse green. And I'm sorry if that's the wrong word I'm using. It's peeled paint, Distress Oxide. I just kind of rub them on the paint pad, but they will be 2 other pieces that will match that one Stay Curious bit. And so again, I'll have that 3 rule of odd number, pleasing to the eye bit of, to create a visual triangle. So I'll place them to create a visual triangle with that other bit of green there in the bottom right. So there you can see I have a nice little green triangle, and I like that I was able to add that color in a couple more spots. I'm going to start gluing everything down, and I will also add a few sequins from my stash, and we're going to call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. I really am happy with it. I'm so happy with what it looks like. I had a lot of fun making it, and I love this kit. And I still have so much of this kit. I'm telling you, these Limitless kits are what they say. They're limitless. So make sure to grab yours. I'll link down below. Let me know if you have any questions, and I would love it if you'd like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.